Total Football Uncut. Currently on vacation, and I've been waiting to live stream for some time. I just wanted to wait until I get to 50 subs. That's when you could actually do a live stream on YouTube. So I'm on Wi-Fi and set. Well, I'm actually only on Wi-Fi. So want to do this episode live, and I want to do more live streams like this in the future. Just keep things going and build the channel. So whoever's tuning in, appreciate you, whether you're watching the replay or you're live. Big up to the boy Marcel, man. Oh man, nice to see you in here, Marcel. Appreciate you tuning in. You know, big up, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. So as usual, just want to do the confirmed deals, and then I go to all the rumors and stuff. So I check transfer marked for all the confirmed transfers that I haven't yet spoken about, and then I actually go to like Twitter and Reddit and those places for like the rumors and so on and so forth. I even check my email sometimes. I have newsletters and all of that, So yeah. So the first transfer, we're talking Premier League transfers. George Petrovic, and he's a Serbian goalkeeper, 25 years old. He joins Bournemouth from Chelsea, 28.88 million euros. It's a lot of money to pay for basically one of Chelsea's backup goalkeepers, but you go to Bournemouth, he's going to definitely have more opportunities over there, and I think that's because Kepa, who was their number one goalkeeper, ended up joining Arsenal for about 5 mil. So it's a good move for Petrovic. Do Young Yoon, a South Korean right winger, joins Excelsior on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. He's 18 years old. He's going to go out and develop. And let me see if there's anyone else to talk about here. Okay, El Haji Malik Diouf, 20-year-old left midfielder from Slavia Prague to West Ham for 22 million. I did talk about this one already, but Slavia Prague had actually, turned down the first bid that West Ham put in for the player. And yeah, that's pretty much all the players that have moved across the last 24 hours because, your boy on point, and, I'm progressing very well in terms of the transfers, and I'm coming daily with the transfer. So big up everybody. We got 7 people in here. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I should actually, let me see if I could actually share the stream out from the main channel as well. I do plan to upload on the main channel still, but I'm just trying to build some momentum with the new channel. It's kind of weird, to be honest, guys, because it's like, do you continue with the main channel, 50K subs, or start fresh? So I say, you know what, man, let me just start fresh and, build something new. You see what I mean? It's fun. It's actually fun building something new. What time it is in St. Vincent? It's actually 12:20 a.m. 12:20 a.m. Just chilling, man. I've been waking up late. I've been getting a lot of rest. I've been doing my thing. So if you're watching the channel for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video. So let's go. Let's talk a bit about, let me first go over to Fabrizio Romano's Twitter, because, if there's anything major coming out, he's going to actually talk about it. So let's go over to his Twitter and see what is over there. So yeah, I spoke about a few of these already, and I'll talk about them again pretty soon. But 18 hours ago, Luis Diaz remains open to leave Liverpool this summer if good proposal arrives for the club. LFC rejected bids from Bayern and also an approach from Barca in June as they want to keep Diaz. Both Bayern and Barca plan to try again in direct contacts with his agents. And this is why I like live streaming, because I could interact with you guys, and I could actually, it's cool. I like doing live streaming, but my cell phone service, Verizon, it doesn't allow me to live stream whenever I want to because it just sucks. Because I could get off work and I could just hit up the live stream and talk to you guys while driving to wherever I'm going. I could park, I could talk, and make it an interactive thing. So let me see what else here to talk about. There's a few more. I'm mainly touching on the Premier League. You know what I mean? I'm not going into the other leagues because that's going to take up way too much time. So Hugo Ekitike remains the other option on Liverpool's list if Isak deal can't be agreed. Newcastle, as reported, with Newcastle as reported, the story for Ekitike remains 100% open. So it's between Liverpool and Newcastle fighting for Hugo Ekitike's signature. He's going to go to one of those clubs, definitely. So we have one here. Nottingham Forest agreed deal to bring in Gambian under-20 striker Lamine Silla on a 3-year deal. Silla joins after impressive performances at Olympiacos, now signed with Nottingham Forest FC. Player as Forest have big plans for Silla. It's left to be seen, man. It's left to be seen. If you're watching the video, haven't yet liked the video, smash up the thumbs up button. Let's keep this thing going. Let's chat. Let's chat until I've covered all these transfers. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments as well. Don't be shy. Just checking through all the updates here on Fabrizio Romano's page to make sure I got everything covered. So 8 hours ago, according to Fabrizio, several clubs have started to move for Nicolas Jackson as his exit from Chelsea remains possible this summer. AC Milan deal currently off, price too high and no intention to proceed. Premier League clubs making initial approaches. What is wrong with these clubs, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is wrong with these Premier League clubs approaching for Nicolas Jackson? Are they desperate? Have they not been watching the football? You see what I mean? If Chelsea don't want him, if Chelsea are willing to part ways with him, why are you trying to sign him? Let him go to France or back over to Spain and he'll probably be better over there. You see what I mean? You're going to sign a player like Nicolas Jackson, he's only going to bring you heartache and strife. That's basically it. And he's been linked to the move to Man United. I spoke about that already, and it's like, really? Like, listen, as a City fan, Man United, please sign him. Sign him up, man. Sign him up. So let's keep it moving, man. Liverpool made contact for Hugo Ekitike on Monday before approach to Newcastle for Isak. Story remains the same. Liverpool want Isak with bid ready, but no doors open from Newcastle so far. If no Isak available, Liverpool to enter Ekitike race. That's clear as daylight. It's also been reported that Liverpool have been linked with Jean-Philippe Mateta. That's kind of a strange one. But I could also see it happening because Mateta, he's had 2 very solid seasons. And if Liverpool could bring him in as that shock signing and, that kind of player that could, that impact player, they could use him as that impact player off the bench, I think he could be a decent signing. So this one's a big one, though. This is a big one because Sunderland are working on Granit Xhaka deal, but also made direct approach to Frank Zambo Anguissa, agent, on Wednesday. Remember, Fulham signed Zambo Anguissa for big money. Didn't really work out. He went over on loan to Napoli, and he's been a hit at Napoli. I think Zambo Anguissa's won like 2 titles at Napoli so far, if I'm not mistaken. He's been a hit, so it's kind of weird that the Cameroonian is like, up for sale if he's been so successful over at, Napoli. He's 29 years old right now. 2 Scudettos with Napoli. I think he got both of them with Napoli, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, both of them with Napoli. Definitely both of them with Napoli. So, You know, pretty damn successful stint, if you ask me. First, he was there on loan, and then he got sold to Napoli for 16 million back in 2022, and he's won two Scudettos so far. So, he could be back to the Premier League with Sunderland, who are doing everything they could, it seems, to stay up. And the business that some Sunderland have done so far is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty decent, man. They're showing a lot more interest than a lot more intent, pardon me, than the likes of Ipswich, Leicester City last season, and Southampton, who all got promoted and then relegated because of I think they did poor business in the summer transfer window. So if we go to Sunderland, right, just to go down a little Sunderland rabbit hole right now, and big up everybody watching the replay right now. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. So let's check Sunderland, and they've been busy. When I tell you they've been busy, they've been busy. So these are. Let me make sure I'm getting this one right. Okay. Let me see. Arrivals. I want to make sure I get arrivals and departures. So, all right. So, big up to Shelush. I was wondering why the frisbee kept getting bigger, then it hit me. Oh, man. Come on, man. Bunch of nonsense. Anyways. They've sold Joe Bellingham for 30 million. They sold to Borussia Dortmund. They sold Tom Watson, a left winger, to Brighton for 12 million. Sent out Adil Awuchiche on loan, and Nathan Bishop was sold for an undisclosed fee. And yeah, that's to Wimbledon, and Awuchiche to Aberdeen. So that's their outgoings. They've made 42 million euros so far. And in terms of their arrivals, these are the players that they've signed. Habib Diarra, 21-year-old central midfielder from Strasbourg, 31.5 million. They brought in Simon Adingra, 23-year-old Ivorian left winger from Brighton for 24.4 million. Enzo Lafea, 25 million. AS Roma, 23 million, pardon me, from Roma. I think he was there on loan. Chemstein Talbi, I don't know how you pronounce that name. 20-year-old right winger from Club Brugge, 20 million. Noah Sadiki from Union Saint-Gilloise, 17 million. He's a central midfielder. Experienced left back in Reinaldo Mandava from Atletico Madrid on a free. So some solid signings so far. So if they manage to actually bring in Zambo Anguissa and Xhaka, they could really, tighten up their midfield there. And in terms of their squad so far, I didn't really check out their squad, to say, okay, let me see what their squad looking like. Okay, I really haven't checked their squad out. They have Wilson Isidore, their center forward. He's 24 years old. Eliza Mayenda, Ian Poveda, former City man, former Leeds youngster, 25 years old. Patrick Roberts, former Man City player as well. Okay. Yeah, their squad looked a bit light, if you ask me. I'm not going to lie. Their squad looked a bit light. The squad that they came up with looked really light, man. Yeah, this squad looked light, yo. I see why they're making these signings, man. Their squad look light, so I don't even know if that's going to help them stay up, to be honest. But they're making some decent signings. I'm not going to lie. But they need to keep going. They need to spend wisely, and, they need some experience, because these guys ain't look experienced at all. Wow. Didn't realize they look so light at all, man. So let's keep things going. Manchester City have agreed deal to sign Dexter Oliver from Spurs. Agreement due to be completed in the next 48 hours, and key signing to the Man City Academy. Agreement, I said that already. Strategy remains to develop and produce top young talent. So let me see if there's anything else that I need to touch on. Alejandro Garnacho continues to express preference for Premier League move this summer. He's out of Manchester United project, but despite calls from several clubs abroad, Garnacho wants to continue in England as clear preference. Talks would follow in the upcoming days. So let's see where he actually ends up. Exclusive, FC Basel agree permanent deal to sign Metinho from Citigroup as a new midfielder. The player will be in Switzerland today for medical tests and contract signing. So, Marcel, do you think City will make any more first team signings? Well, it's been rather quiet, and I do think Manchester City might just bring in a right back. I've been hearing whispers of Man City being linked to signing Denzel Dumfries, who got like a 25 million euros release clause. Don't know how true it is because none of the major outlets have been talking about it. Not Fabrizio, not David Ornstein. Nobody's been talking about it. So I don't really know how true it is. I think I need some water. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, So yeah, I haven't heard anybody really talked about it. So yeah, it's left to be seen if City ends up signing anybody else. So that's it on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter, where there's a lot of updates. And I like to check David Ornstein as well, but I don't, let me see, I don't know if my Twitter is acting up right now. Let me see, yeah. Let me check David Ornstein and see if there's anything breaking, anything fresh, anything that, I may have missed. Yeah, still the same. I've covered everything already in terms of David Ornstein. And there's also Christian Falk, who I like to check for the Bundesliga to the Bundesliga Premier League news. So yeah, Bayern Munich working on deal to sign Liverpool winger Luis Diaz. So Bayern Munich really want Luis Diaz, man, and I actually have a feeling it's gonna happen. As much as Liverpool want to keep my belt got stuck. I need my freaking AirPod case. Yeah, as much as Liverpool want to actually keep Luis Diaz, the player seemed like he's keen on the move to Bayern Munich, and Liverpool need to just take the damn money and let the player go free. Just let him go, man. Let him go. You see what I'm saying? He's showing interest in Bayern. You know what I mean? Just let him go. He's been at Liverpool for some time, quite a few seasons. How long? About, damn. I opened my AirPods and the thing froze up. Yeah, about 3 seasons or so he's been at Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, collect some money and let him go. So big up everybody in the house, man. Marcel is saying they have the Verts money, cough up the funds. Yep. So I guess Liverpool are playing hardball, but I don't think he's gonna go for 100 million though. I don't think so. I don't. 70 pounds, 70 million, but they've been bidding close to that though. I think the bid is getting up there. Definitely. So what I'm gonna do, let's check some of the saved articles that I have. Okay. Wolfsburg have taken an important step towards signing Josh Sargent. Reports suggest both parties have already agreed on a transfer for the EFL Championship marksman. Die Wolfe are still negotiating a transfer fee with the second division club Norwich, which could settle at around 16 million. And the reason I'm talking about bum-ass Josh Sargent is because he was linked with a move to one of them Premier League clubs as well. So yeah. So according to Sammy Mockbell, Fulham make approach to re-sign Reece Nelson. Let me look into this because let me see. Arsenal have received an approach from Fulham to re-sign attacker Reece Nelson. The structure of the deal, which is likely to be a loan, is still being finalized, but talks are ongoing as all parties try to find a resolution. Arsenal leave for their preseason tour of Asia on Saturday, and with Nelson available to leave this summer, there could be a benefit in concluding any transfers before then. Gunners Academy graduate Nelson spent last season on loan at Craven Cottage, making 13 appearances under Marco Silva before his season was cut short by injury. Yeah, definitely Reece Nelson looked good at Fulham before he got injured. Nelson is a decent player, but injuries, man. So big up everybody watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. According to Graham Smythe, or Graham Smith, it's spelled with a Y. Leeds United meet with Feyenoord winger Igor Pichau to discuss a potential transfer. And I just actually read, not now, but that Igor Pichau actually picked up an injury that's going to hamper him at the start of the season. So I don't know if Leeds United want to go into the season with an injured player. That's never the wisest thing to do. So, yeah. So, Gianluca Di Marzio reports that Liberato Cassasi's move to Wrexham is a done deal. And the reason why I'm talking about this player is because he was like one of my favorite players to use when I'm playing FIFA. He's from New Zealand, and you would sign him and he would just grow so nicely, and he's so like versatile as a, I'm talking FIFA. I haven't played FIFA in a while though, but maybe one day I'll dust off the PS5 and actually purchase FC 26 and start playing again. The New Zealand international joined the Welsh club permanently for 2.5 million plus bonuses. And big up to Wrexham, man. They've been really progressive, and they are climbing up the ladder. They're in the championship now, so that's pretty damn good. According to Wheeler, Aston Villa iron move for Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho. Not a bad player to go in for. Not a bad player, because they could lose some players themselves, so they'll need some replacements. So, according to Di Marzio, Juventus surveyed for Marcus Rashford as a solution for the attack today, July 16th. Juventus has made an inquiry for Marcus Rashford. So they're trying to sign Sancho, they're trying to sign Juventus, Marcus Rashford as well. So let's see how that one goes. And there's also something that I bump into. I was like, whoa, that one is crazy. That one is like, whoa. So let me see what's going on. I'm trying to just figure out what I'm trying to read here. Okay, yeah. I don't know what this is about. So, I don't know what that is about. Anyways, I'm going to skip that one. I don't even know that one was confusing. So, Liverpool made contact with Eintracht for Hugo Ekitike. I spoke about that one already. And according to GE, done deal between Jean Arias, Fluminense, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Colombian player will play for the English club, signing the contract this week. So the whole Jean Arias saga is going to be over, and it's reported that he's taken a reduced salary to actually play in the Premier League for Wolves. That's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. But listen, if you dream of playing in the top leagues, you dream and you get the opportunity, you go. You give up that salary and you take your salary that you're getting in England. And who knows, maybe he'll go have a great season or two, and the bigger things might be right around the corner for Jean Arias, because he's a really, really good player. So this one is kind of crazy, though. I don't know if anybody's heard about this. Marcel, let me know if you heard anything about this. But according to the Manchester City FC subreddit, it says it's Real Talk Manchester City rumored verdict on Manchester City's 115 charges. This one is kind of crazy. I haven't seen anything on it, but this is the first thing I've seen. And it said, City will be found not guilty, and all but one accusation failing to cooperate. City's punishment would be a 3-point deduction and a big fine. City will accept this verdict and file lawsuits against media outlets, certain journalists, pundits, and personalities. City also planning to file lawsuits against certain clubs unless there's some sort of public apology. Thoughts? So I was like, okay, what is this about? You see what I mean? What is this about? So I don't know. I don't know. So Marcel said he has not heard anything about it, but it's left to be seen though. It is left to be seen. And a lot of times, this is how things break. A rumor, and then you start hearing it being picked up all over the place. So let's see. Let's see if that's actually the case. So I see an article here, Alexander Isak from BBC. How can Liverpool afford the Newcastle striker? Let me check out this article briefly to see what it's saying. So let me see something. Press sign in. How can Liverpool afford Isak after spending so much? Liverpool have spent more than £170 million this summer already and are now interested in a player that would have to break the British transfer record to sign. With a package for the Newcastle United's Alexander Isak thought to cost up to £130 million, the summer spending will soar to £300 million. It's quite the jump. The Premier League champions last year spent just $10 million on Italy winger Federico Chiesa and $25 million on Georgia goalkeeper Georgia Mamadashvili in last year's summer window. Liverpool have already signed midfielder Florian Wirtz in a potential British record of £116 million this summer and paid $40 million and $30 million respectively for fullbacks Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong. Their sights are now firmly set on a striker. BBC Sport understand that while Liverpool have explored other centre-forward targets, they have made a move towards a deal for Isak in the recent days. While he remains a dream target, the Reds also have serious interest in Hugo Ekitike, from whom Newcastle had a £70 million bid turned down by Eintracht on Tuesday. So Liverpool have also checked in on Brentford's Johan Wissa. I haven't heard that one. And Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins as they've worked through a range of striker options. I have not reported on any one of those. I have not seen any links to any one of those players. And so I don't know. Can Liverpool afford Isak? According to the summer signings, Liverpool's income has been boosted this year thanks to several key factors. They received £175 million in prize money from winning the Premier League. So basically, they spent that. Let's say they spent that. The last season, the club's first full campaign with an extended Anfield Road end and higher capacity. From August 1st, they have a new kit deal with Adidas, which reports some value of $60 million per season and more than their current partnership with Nike. Those factors combined with comparatively low transfer spending in previous windows mean that Liverpool find themselves well within the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, which limit clubs to losses of over £105 million over 3 years. Liverpool are a super smart football club, football finance expert Kieran Maguire told BBC Sport. They are in an incredibly strong PSR position. Out of the traditional Big Six clubs, they've spent the least in the last 3-year cycle, only $325 million, and that includes their signing of Florian Wirtz. They've still got plenty of wiggle room with their transfer budget. Plus, a move for a striker is likely to be paid in installments, meaning the cost can be spread over multiple seasons. Their position could be further boosted on Tuesday. On Tuesday, they rejected a £58.6 million opening from Bayern Munich for forward Luis Diaz. While Liverpool have said Diaz is not for sale, they are understood to be open to selling Darwin Núñez, who has an interest from Napoli and Saudi Arabia. So basically, that's the gist of things. You know what I mean? That is the gist of things. And Marcel says, people forget we barely spent money last summer, and everyone questioning where we are getting money from is hilarious. See, I'm glad you are breaking down how we get money because some people just talk and do not do research. Yeah, it's important to do research, man. And just to elaborate on things. The article is really long. It is really, really, really long. But for those of you guys who like a good little read, I'm gonna just read through it really, really fast. I'm gonna put my reading skills to the test. Liverpool's model has been to ignore the noise. As shown in the graph above, in the 3 seasons prior to 24-25, Liverpool made a net transfer spend of minus 17.8, 92.5 million pounds and 49.8 million pounds. For context, Manchester United had a net spend of 119 million pounds, 133 and 190 million over the past 3 campaigns. So Liverpool are way, 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 way less than that. So Liverpool have been outside the top 10 spenders on players signings since 2019, but the model is a classic case of being smarter rather than bigger, said Maguire. Big up to Igbo Vibes Media. Big up to you, Dom. Greetings from Hamburg, Germany. Big up, bro. Thanks for commenting. Smash the like button, bro, if you haven't yet done so. So Liverpool's model has been to ignore the noise and only buy a player if they truly improve the squad. It's a money ball, more analytic approach. Chief Executive Michael Edwards does a brilliant job, and he never buys players because of external pressure. He doesn't get jittery when fans calls for more signings, maybe like the Arsenal fans, right? Verts, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, and potentially Isaks are big signings. But they are all to improve Liverpool's squad, and the Reds do have an awful lot of PSR headroom. Last month, former Reds boss Jurgen Klopp described the 116 million pound potential fee for Wirtz as insane. Klopp, who won the Champions League and Premier League during a 9-year spell at Anfield, before he left in the summer of 2024, felt transfer fees were rising at a rapid rate. And I quote, I once said I'm out if we pay 100 million euros for any player, but the world keeps changing. That's how the market is, he said. Before Wirtz's arrival, Nunes had been the club's record signing, joining from Benfica in 2022 in a deal that would be worth up to 85 million pounds. But Klopp's big signings were largely spread out across different transfer windows during his time at the club. The Reds signed defender Virgil van Dijk for 75 million pounds from Southampton in January 2018, goalkeeper Alisson from Roma for 66.8 million pounds in July of 2018, and midfielder Dominic Szoboszlai for 60 million from RB Leipzig in 2023. So who else could be interested in Isak? Newcastle have maintained throughout the summer transfer window that the top players, and Isak is certainly one of those not up for sale. Indeed, like Liverpool, Newcastle, who are owned by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, PIF, are in a comfortable PSR position. Isak has 3 years left on his contract, so the Swede would most likely have to actively push for a move. Apart from Liverpool, few other clubs are in the market for a striker. Apart from Liverpool, few other clubs in the market for a striker could afford Isak's reported 130 million price tag. As the most profitable club in Premier League history, Arsenal could easily spend over 200 million in the window and have no PSR concerns, said Maguire. Despite Isak having been linked to the move to Arsenal, the Gunners have instead expected to reach a full agreement with Sporting for the 73.5 million euro signing of Victor Gyökeres this summer. Manchester City are unlikely to be in the market for a striker with Erling Haaland and Omar Mamouche under lengthy contracts. It seems doubtful that United would be able to afford Isak's fee without significant player sales, having missed out on Champions League football next season. Chelsea have bought strikers Liam Delap and João Pedro this window, and I quote, "In theory, Tottenham could also afford Isak," said Maguire, "but whether the player would want to move from a team who finished 5th to a team who finished 17th is a whole nother story." So that's the article. I read the whole thing, and pretty cool, man. Many teams have still spent more than Liverpool in the recent seasons, and these teams, Chelsea spent 866 million pounds. I mean, Man City half a billion. Tottenham half a billion, United almost half a billion, Brighton 415 million pounds, Arsenal 376. That is crazy. That's the biggest spender since 23, 24, that's crazy. And Liverpool are just behind Arsenal with 375. So that's that article. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's keep it moving. So it's also been said from The Athletic that Colombia winger Luis Diaz, 28, has made it clear that he wants to leave the Reds after the club rejected a 58.6 million bid from Bayern Munich. So it seems like he's definitely on the move. So Valencia eyes sharp move for iconic striker with 145 Premier League goals. And when I did my digging, I found out that striker was Jamie Vardy. So Valencia are eyeing a move for Jamie Vardy. Let's see if it actually materializes. So Sassuolo, an Italy striker, Andrea Pinamonti, is attracting interest from West Ham, with London rivals Brentford also inquiring about the 26-year-old. Remember what happened to the last time West Ham actually signed a freaking Italian striker? What's his name again, man? I can't even remember his name. He was that forgettable. Did not do a thing. I'm not even gonna try to remember his name. But damn, what's his name? Marcel, do you remember his name, man? Damn, I can't remember his name, but he flopped big time, man. Big time. So according to AS, outlet in Spain, Liverpool have put a 43.3 Gianluca Scamacca. Yo, Marcel, bro. Marcel, you got it, bro. You got it. So the Liverpool have put a 43.5 million pound price tag on Konate for any clubs interested in him this summer in his last year of his contract. Let's see if anybody's gonna go in. And I think I saw something that Real Madrid said, Liverpool, hey man, take 25 million euros or lose him for free next summer. So it's left to be seen what happens with Ibrahima Konate. You know what I'm just realizing? I didn't have any water yesterday. Like no water whatsoever yesterday. None. Crazy. You know what I had though? I had some beers. I had quite a few beers to drink yesterday. That's why I wasn't thirsty, man. So let's keep it moving, man. Florian Plettenberg. Leeds United have agreed personal terms with Anton Stach. Negotiations with Hoffenheim have already started, but there is no agreement yet. So Leeds are another promoted club, also trying to bulk up their team. And let me take a quick look at Leeds to see if they're well placed to stay up as we speak. Because Sunderland, the players that they came up with, it looks kind of, they look kind of shaky, to be honest. They're making some decent signings, but the players that they had in their squad, it looks kind of shaky. So for Leeds, they have experienced players like Ampadu. Ampadu's been around for some time. Pascal Strike is still part of their team, okay? Joe Rodon, okay? These guys have Premier League experience. Sam Byram, Jalen Bogle, Eo Tanaka, he's a decent, Japanese player. Let me see, Brendan Aronson been around. Nanto, these guys were there. Daniel James, it's reported that he recently signed a contract extension. Let me see. Patrick Bamford, he's been around, So they got the experience with Daniel Farker in charge. I didn't actually, let me check out, let me go back to Sunderland really quick. I didn't even, I need to get up to date with what's going on at these clubs, man. Like, who's in charge and all. Like, I can't, wait. Daniel Farker, I know Scott Parker is in charge of, whatchamacallit there. Scott Parker is in charge of Burnley. And in terms of Sunderland, let me see. I don't even know what's going on with Sunderland, to be honest. I think I know, but I just can't remember off the top. Oh yeah, Sunderland does. Sunderland Regis Labris? Who the hell is that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, guys. Seriously. No wonder I wasn't aware of who's the manager of Sunderland right now. Did he actually help them get promoted? Big up to the boy Drew P in the house, man. Drew P is definitely a veteran. Dominic Rich FC veteran. We starting something fresh, you know what I mean? Starting something fresh over here at Total Football Uncut, baby. Let's get it. So yeah, Leeds ain't look too bad. Let me go back to Leeds. Give you guys some good insight here. If you're watching the live stream, you're watching the replay, you could be like, yeah, man, pretty good stuff, Dom. Pretty good information. So let me have Leeds United. Leeds. Let me go back to Leeds. So Leeds ain't look too bad. I'm not saying that it's gonna actually help them to stay up, but they ain't look too bad at all. All right, I need to find Leeds. Come on, man. Computer acting real slow right now. So, big up everybody. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button, man. Smash up the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. So, in terms of incomings for Leeds United, they've bought a player by the name of Jacques Bijol. Let me see. Let me go to arrivals and make sure I get that right. So, 26-year-old Slovenian centre-back from Udinese, 18 mil. Gabriel Gudmundsson from Sweden, 26-year-old. He got experience from Lille, 11 mil. 6 mil for Sebastian Barnau. He's 26. What the hell? They bought 4 26-year-old players. Barnau came in from centre-back from Wolfsburg, and Lucas Mecha, former Man City youngster, came in on a free from Wolfsburg. He's also 26. And Max Wober, he was there on loan, end of loan. That's crazy. They bought 4 26-year-old player, man. 4 26-year-old. Crazy. So you think Leeds United was smart to keep Falk? Well, listen, he's been bouncing around, man. This guy seems like he knows how to get a job. He's been bouncing around. I can't keep track of these guys, man. I can't keep track of these managers. Daniel Fark and Nuno Espirito Santo and all these guys. I can't keep track. So they've actually lost Rasmus Christensen, 6 mil to Frankfurt. Junior Firpo left. He went, he's heading back to Betis. Max Swoba went back to Werder Bremen. And Joshua Gilavogi, he was released. So that's the outgoing so far. They haven't made much money. I think they still need to bulk up. They've signed Sean Longstaff from Newcastle, but they're going to need more than Longstaff, you know what I mean? They're going to need a longer staff to actually stay up. You see, they might need to sign his brother too if they want to stay up. So, yeah. But Burnley have been doing some business as well, but I'm not going to touch on Burnley just unless I have something come up about Burnley. So, according to James Pearce, Simon Wiles is leading contender to become the new head coach of the Liverpool under-18s. Highly regarded youth coach at Manchester United, previously at Salford City and Fleetwood. So I like to report on these ones as well because, it's quite important. So Manchester United make 20 million plus in sell-on clauses this summer. So that's a positive for Manchester United, right? That is a positive. So some of their former players have been sold and they're making a little bit of money there. So let me see if I could actually pull up a few of these things, get some information for this. So let me see. Let me see. All right. So next comes Alvaro Carreras, the fullback, is not a household name yet, but when he left for Benfica, United kept a 20% sell-on clause. Now that Real Madrid is signing him, but the clause has kicked in. United would receive about 7 million from the sale. That's decent business, though. You gotta give him credit. Then there's Max Oyedeli. He joined Strasbourg this summer, but United had already planned for this. They sold him to Legia Warsaw last year with a future sell-on built in. With his new move, United will pocket 2 million. Pretty decent, man. At least they did something smart, right? The final boost came in from Anthony Elanga. He left for Nottingham Forest in 2023 for 15 mil. The club included a sell-on clause of between 15 to 20%. Now the Forest have sold him to Newcastle for a healthy profit. The Reds will bag about 6 million. So pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, man. So they got money from. They actually mentioned Sancho as well, right? Let me see. Now Sancho is back with Manchester United, and the Reds are currently negotiating with Juventus for a permanent move. So they'll pocket 5 million for Sancho. But I don't get the Sancho move, though. I don't get that, though. That is weird. Man United have made 20 million sell-on clauses and Sancho's loan termination clause this summer. Oh, that's why they made the Sancho money. That was kind of weird. So like the video if you haven't yet done so, guys. We got a few more to talk about. And it says that, according to the Mirror, that Liverpool and France centre-back Ibrahima Konate, 26 years old, has rejected a lucrative approach from the Saudi Pro League. Why are players treating the Saudi League like this, man? They keep just blocking, rejecting the Saudi League. I know some players are joining, but a lot of players are saying, like, nah, man, I'm good. I don't want to go in the desert to play no football. I'm good where I'm at. I'll take the little bit of money that I'm making. Don't want to go. If it's me, though, if it's me, big up Flynn in the house. If it's me, I'm going. I'm doing like Jean Duran. I'm going and I'm signing a nice contract. I'm going to play over there for like 2 years, make my money, bank my money, put my money in some type of thing that's going to grow. You know what I mean? Nice investment, invest in a few business, maybe real estate and things like that. Set up shop to set myself up for life, and then I go back to play football somewhere else. That's what I'll do. That is exactly what I'll do. So this one, according to Fabrizio Romano about 20 hours ago, Napoli will sign new goalkeeper this summer as key request by Antonio Conte. Understand, Napoli tried to sign Edison from Manchester City with talks taking place last week, but move off as it is not feasible. And I think that's the salary that's the problem. Please, 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 I beg somebody, take him off our hands. Take him off our hands, man. Listen, this guy is like, it's like trying to catch small fishes, like Sprott, trying to catch a Sprott with a big net. You see what I'm saying? It's just going right through. I don't know what it is. Like if you're watching football, if you're an avid football fan, right? And you're watching different teams, not just your own team, you see how good some of these goalkeepers are. You're watching and you're like, God damn, what a save. Damn, what a save. Edison, I know he pulls off some good saves from time to time, but the man is just a big gaping hole, man. It's just a free-for-all. Come, score on me. Seriously, it's annoying. It is annoying. I know Man City have won a lot of things, but we could have won more things if it wasn't for Edison. We won things because of him, but if he wasn't so bad at shot stopping, we would have won more things. The guy is not a good shot stopper. He's a really good footballer with his, really good with his feet, distribution, and things like that. But in terms of decision making, and in terms of shot stopping, he is garbage. And I'm gonna say that. Plain and simple, I am not holding it back. It is how I feel. It's exactly how I feel. So we're coming up close to an hour. Wayne Hennessy, Will Hennessy. What am I saying? Hennessy. Wayne Hennessy, Wales goalkeeping great, retires. You know, what club was he famous with? Mostly Crystal. I think he was at Crystal Palace last, but probably one of those Welsh clubs, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see something. Let me bring up Hennessy. You know, could I spell Hennessy? Yep, Henny. Let me just spell it Henny. And Wayne Hennessy, he's retired, 38 years old, and Wayne Hennessy. Big up to Marcel. Yeah, Diego Costa, man. Oh, that's the goalkeeper I want Man City to sign. But we're playing games, man. We're playing games. So Wayne Hennessy, he was at Forest. He retired while at Forest. He was mostly like a backup. You know, he was at Burnley for some time. He was at Palace. He was at Palace for a little while. And yeah, he was at Wolves. But I think he mainly came to prominent while he was at Palace mainly, you know. That's where I remember him from. That's definitely where I remember him from. So never really played for any of the Welsh clubs. So I was wrong with that one. Came to the Man City Youth Academy, Wolves Youth Academy, played for Bristol, played for Wolves, played for Stockport, Yeovil Town, and then he joined Wolves in 2014. And then he was, he joined Crystal Palace in 2014. You see, that's where I know him from. See, I was right. And he left Crystal Palace 7 years later to join Burnley. So, yeah. But he was mainly a backup goalkeeper, though. Mainly a backup goalkeeper most of his career. So, in terms of Premier League stats, you see, like, in the last couple years, he has not played a lot in the Premier League. Like Crystal Palace main goalkeeper from the 2015-16 season all the way up to the 2018-19 season, and then he was actually phased out. I think, you know, Vicente Guaita used to be the man in, you know, favored in goal there for Crystal Palace during those years. So yeah, happy retirement, Wayne Hennessy. You guys, listen, man. You guys can't say I don't drop good content for y'all. I don't give y'all good information. You know, I do. I think I do. I actually do my live streams and my videos in ways that I would want somebody else to do it. You know, I don't watch a lot of football content, to be honest, anymore. I really don't. I don't have the time to do it, and you know, I don't know. I don't watch other people like that. I really don't. I rather just do my research and, you know, make the videos. I rather make the videos than watch the videos. You know, how did we go down a Wayne Hennessy rabbit hole? Because he retired. So I'm gonna just, you know, give him that little shine and move on. So this one, okay, this one is for a youngster. Let me see. This one is kind of weird though. This one is kind of weird. I don't even know if I should talk about this one. This one is kind of weird. Let me see. Yeah, I shouldn't even talk about this one. This one is, yeah, I'm not even going to touch on this one. This one is kind of mixed up. Polish midfielder Maxi Oyedele, 20 years old, is transferring from Legia Warsaw to Strasbourg, which paid a release clause of $6 million. 40% of this amount will go to Maxi's former club, Manchester United, as I mentioned earlier. And according to The Guardian, Manchester United's Mbeumo push stalls as Brentford raised price towards £70 million. Ratcliffe values the forward at £65 million and intends to be patient. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Man United fans have been waiting for Bryan Mbeumo for quite a long time. And there's, you know, I reported before that it's according to the structure, but apparently they haven't even agreed on an amount, which is wild. You see what I'm saying? This is wild to me. This is wild. According to Matt Law, Chelsea held off a £40 million year sponsor deal last year. Now, with interest from 7 to 10 major global firms, the potential value has risen to £60 million a year, potentially securing a deal worth £100 million more over its full term. So, not going to read too much into that though. That's kit deals and whatnot. So yesterday, it was reported that Ibrahima Konate has turned down Liverpool's bid to extend his contract until 2030, and his contract expired with Liverpool. His current contract with Liverpool expires in 2026. The indications are that he currently would like a free transfer to Real Madrid in 2026. The club and coach Arne Slot would prefer to keep him around long term. When Real Madrid come calling, you pack your bags and you go. You do not say no. It is that simple. Doesn't matter who you play for. Once Real Madrid say, hey man, come over here, you pack your bags and you go. So Leeds United are delighted to announce Dan James has signed a new long-term deal to remain at Ellen Road for another 4 years. Apparently he has done well there after, he was at Manchester United. That was a weird deal, I think he went from Fulham to United. And to be honest, when you think back about it, Dan James performed way better than a lot of those players who Man United paid big money for, when you think about it. So Texter's Eagle Group negotiating the signing of Nottingham Forest's Danilo. And that means that Botafogo is trying to sign Danilo. I think that's what it is. Not going to go deep into it because I checked that article already and the translation wasn't really on point. 2 days ago, I didn't talk about this one, but it said that Al Hilal are negotiating with Darwin Núñez at Inzaghi's request. So let's see if Darwin Núñez would end up in Saudi Arabia. And this is also one that I missed. And that was actually for yesterday's video. I actually missed this one. According to Hugo Guillemet at L'Equipe, Manchester United targets Corentin Tolisso. Manchester United targets Corentin Tolisso. The English club has contacted the entourage of Tolisso to study the feasibility of a transfer. The 30-year-old is attracted by the project, but will not be forcing his departure while Lyon plan to keep him. This is a weird one because Corentin Tolisso moved from Lyon to Bayern Munich quite a while ago. And I remember he was one of my favorite players to use in FIFA too. Beast of a midfielder in FIFA. I think he had a decent little spell at Bayern Munich, and when he was out of favor, he went back to Lyon. Man United are trying to sign him. I haven't seen Corentin Tolisso for quite a while, so I don't know how good he is these days, but I guess, let's see. Let's see, man. And guys, that's all we have. That's all we have for today's episode 44 of Transfer Daily with your boy, Dominic Rich. So pretty much didn't really know what I was actually getting into. So I didn't really put like players in the title or anything. And I haven't been writing down any notes. I'll get back to my notes once I get back. But yeah, definitely episode 44. Yesterday was 43. Today is 44. And, we're just keeping the thing going, keeping the thing growing, okay? You know what I mean? So pretty much what it is. So I don't want to drag it on for much longer. I do appreciate everybody who tuned in. An hour is pretty good. It's 1:15 a.m. I'm about to go into bed, knock out, and wake up tomorrow and do it all over again. I think I'll do another live stream tomorrow if I could. Because it's pretty nice. I love live streaming. I really like live streaming, you know what I mean? And this is actually my first vertical live stream. Definitely. So he played against United in the Europa League and got sent off. Okay. Tolisso is washed, injury-ridden career. Man United is a joke. How did we... Oh, yeah. So big up, down, peace out, bro. Catch you on the next one. Thank you for everyone who tuned in, everybody watching the live stream replay. I'm your boy Dom. This is Total Football Uncut, growing a new channel, guys. Road to 100 subscribers in full effect. I can't believe I'm saying this. I remember back in the days when I was doing this, but we're growing the thing. Road to 100 sub, not 100K, but 100 sub, and then to 200, 300, 400, 500. You know, and hopefully we get back up there where the channel is monetized and we're making some chaching and things like that from the channel. So, guys, thanks a lot. Until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. We talk soon.